In this season here at First Church, we are paying attention to the 7 deadly sins, or as they're also known, the 7 cardinal vices. For at least 1,000 years of church history, we have agreed together that they are at the heart of what goes wrong in our own lives and in the world around us. The 7 deadly sins are pride, anger, envy, gluttony, greed, lust, and my personal favorite, sloth. These 7 deadly sins are the most pernicious because they are the most subtle. They are the easiest to take for granted. It's so easy to just say that they're just human nature, as slowly, step by step, we push Jesus away and out of our lives. Pride is really the mother of all the sins. It is the entry point for all of the other 6 sins that follow. Pride, of course, comes across as arrogance. It comes across as a sort of overwrought self-assurance. It's this suspicion that we are at the center of our own private universes. I want to lift up one way in which pride shows itself in our lives most often, for many of us. And it comes from Jerry Bridges' book, Respectable Sins. It's what he calls the pride of achievement. It's when we give ourselves all the credit. It's when we only ever pat ourselves on the back for our successes, when in fact, he writes, success in any endeavor is under the sovereign control of God. But pride of achievement has a flip side. Every sin does. Pride of achievement also looks like self-pity. John of Landsberg was a 16th century German monk, and he wrote a spiritual classic called A Letter from Jesus Christ. And he writes this letter as if he is in the voice of Christ. And it's brilliant. Here's what he writes as if from Jesus to us. I know those moods when you sit there utterly alone, pining, eaten up with unhappiness, in a pure state of grief. You don't move towards me, but desperately imagine that everything you have ever done has been utterly lost and forgotten. This near despair and self-pity are actually a form of pride. What you think was a state of absolute security from which you've fallen was really trusting too much in your own strength and ability. What really ails you is that things simply haven't happened as you expected and as you planned. Yes, there is pride even in failure. If we've convinced ourselves, after all, that we are the masters of our own success, then logically doesn't it follow that we are the creators of our own chaos? When in fact, God at all times, in all places, and in all circumstances, wants us to trust in him. Friends, in this season of Lent, I hope that we will all do the kind of self-examination that will lead us to see these sins like pride of achievement, like pride of failure in ourselves, and use this time as a chance to draw ever more closer to Christ. I hope to see you in worship, either here in person or online. We welcome you all. Amen.